Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube. Bear with me on this first clip. I shot it in slow motion on accident, so there is no audio to go with it. Basically what I'm saying here is I'm going to be going over what a meal prep and recovery and what I eat in a day looks like after my 14-mile long run that I did this morning. It was a 14-mile run, about 2.5 hours of running at a zone 2 pace, and I am on a keto diet, and this is my breakfast. The first meal, which is breakfast, was 4 eggs, 3 ounces of sausage, 5 slices of bacon, and 250 grams of cottage cheese. And that's pretty much all I went over here, so enjoy the rest of the video. All right, wrapped up breakfast. I've just been running around the house all day, kind of getting chores done on this Saturday morning. It's already 4 o'clock. The day kind of ran away from me. I still need to meal prep some for the week, and I need to make another meal. So, 1 pound of beef, that's my next meal. Maybe with something else. Come up with that on the spot, probably. Then this. That, I'm making chili. 2 pounds of meat, some tomatoes, some peppers, some onions. And while I prep this meal, I'm going to talk a little bit about my endurance prep for the race that I'm training for, what my training looks like, what my diet looks like, why there's obviously no carbohydrates on the table right now. So stay tuned. Let's get going. All right, for dinner, I'm gonna basically be making tacos, kind of fajitas, bell peppers, beef, some 0 carb tortillas. Let's get started. All right, so this fall, I am going to be running in a last man standing race. So that's what I'm training for currently. Last year I ran this race, the last man standing race, and I got to 50 miles. I ran it basically after my marathon, so it was like, you know, pretty much I trained for the marathon. That race was 2 weeks later. I was like, let's do this. This sounds like fun. And I thought that would kind of be a wrap on that. I didn't think I would really do it again. And then I loved it, or I wasn't happy with it, or something. So I'm training again for that same race, which is in September, which is now 8 or 9 months away. Okay, so here we have the hamburger cooking, and then these bell peppers will get thrown into the beef once it's done and ready for that. And then here we're making chili. That's meal prep for the week. That will make about 2 or 3 meals out of this right here. So basically, this whole year, up until this fall, will be me dedicated to running this last man standing race. In that, I was talking to my doctor and doing some of my own research online about, how do I best run a last man standing race to win. The goal is 200 miles or win, or more, or whatever. And so I started looking into this low carb and keto athletes that are endurance athletes, that are long distance ultra runners, 100-mile runners, 200-mile runners. And the keto thing was pretty interesting to me. Basically, the concept of being a keto endurance athlete is you can store a lot of fat on your body. You cannot store a lot of carbs on your body. So if I can train my body to burn fat for fuel instead of carbs for fuel, then I can run for a long time without having to eat a lot of food. Digestion's kind of always a problem in endurance running, because eventually you just can't digest any more food after you've been running for so many hours. And in a last man standing race, which if you're not familiar, is a 4.1 mile loop that you run at the top of every hour. And then it's the last guy to run the lap. So it goes continuously. And 200 miles is 48 hours if you do the math. So that's 2 days of running with no stopping. You can't really fuel your way through that very much, especially if you're not an ultra runner, which I'm not. I've only been running these kind of distances. My 50-mile race I did last year was the farthest I've ever run, and that was one race, not 200 miles. So I've been in ketosis for 3 weeks now, or I've been eating a keto diet for 3 weeks. I've been in ketosis for probably a week or two of that. And so this is kind of how I meal prep for the week, so that I can stay in my keto diet with my work, with life, and all that mess. So. All right, the fajita meat's done. Ground beef, some bell peppers, pretty simple. Throw it on some zero carb tortillas while I'm making the chili. All right, I finished making this chili. So this is meal prep that I did today for the week. This won't be everything that I meal prep for the week. Tomorrow is Sunday and I will spend some more time doing that as well. This is just to kind of get a kickstart on it since I had some extra time today after my long run this morning. Okay. Okay, so this morning I did a 14-mile run at a 10:51 pace, an average heart rate of 135, sticking in zone 2 to training for that last man standing race. Burned 1,799 calories on that run and ran for a total time of 2 hours and 31 minutes. For the macros of diet today, I track macros for one big reason, and that is just to make sure I'm getting enough. When you're running so much, training so much volume, it's very important that I'm eating enough food throughout the day for recovery and all of that. So today I ate a total of 2,700 calories, 193 grams of protein, 97 grams of carbs, but 74 grams of fiber in those keto tortillas, which comes out, so that's 97 minus 24, 70, so 97 total carbs and 74 grams of fiber, 23 net carbs, and then 166 grams of fat. I will have one more meal or snack rather later, probably another 250 grams of cottage cheese to finish off the night, get that protein over the 200 mark, and call it good. So tomorrow is a recovery day, some active recovery and getting ready for the week so I can kill it next week for week 4 or 5 of the training. So with that, thank you for watching the video, and that is it.